And when you're dealing with gut issues, your confidence goes out the fucking drain.
Oh.
Whether it's because you're feeling like crap or you literally can't stop farting around people that you love.
Yeah.
So your confidence out the fucking window.
Oh, it's the
So, like,
worst.
hello, everyone. I am Beck, and this is Dom, and we are the founders of Beck's Broth.
And this is the Happy Era podcast. Today we're going to be talking about all things gut feelings. So gut health and a little bit of intuition too.
Yeah.
But before we get started, Beck, what's in your cup today?
Yeah, metaphorically or figuratively?
Both.
I'm sipping on water.
Okay. What kind of water?
Room temperature water poured from the taps at done 1880.
Is it filtered?
Very clean.
Mineralized?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's the good.
It actually is really good water.
Metaphorically, this week was just another crazy week of tapping into working with Meredith, our new fractional sales, what do we call her?
Consultant?
Fractional sales consultant.
Yeah.
Yes. I've just been learning so much this past week, and I just feel like things are just moving a mile a minute. There is so much happening to the point where it's so fun and exciting, and we're at this like huge growth stage where I know it's coming in like the next couple of months. So right now it's just like the really exciting time navigating all through that. You know how I'm feeling right now. It's a little bit of like even last night before bed, I was like, oh my God, am I the person for the job right now? Like,
oh my
so
goodness,
much to learn, and those feelings and those thoughts often like don't really come up, but it's been such an exciting time of like learning and growth for me personally. So yeah, it's been really cool. So my cup is completely filled with all of that this week.
You're definitely the person for the job. But I know what you mean. It's been a crazy couple of weeks because we're spending a lot of money on this project.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, all we're really doing is planting seeds.
Yeah.
So we're not actually seeing the return yet, obviously. Yeah. It's not quick fixes. It's actually getting to the root cause and like changing the way we're doing things for the better.
Yeah.
But right now, it's scary.
There's just so many things happening. Like, it's so cool and it's so exciting, but you know when so many things are happening and it's like, okay, like let's actually push the needle in one direction first. But it's like right now there's just so many projects that are like kicking off or like working through. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be so nice just to seal them up.
Yeah. So if you're listening right now, yeah, we're all overwhelmed as fuck.
Yeah.
Working a lot of hours, stressed, but excited. So fired up. Yesterday we were having a meeting with Meredith and it was at 4:00, which I'm going to say this. I really don't like 4:00
I know
meetings.
you don't. Nobody does.
Nobody does. Because there's always action items and like sometimes you have a commitment after work that you need to go to. And I just felt like there's so many things I want to do and now I have to go and I can't do them. Mm-hmm. But where was I going with that? Oh, it was stressful because there's like a million things that have to get done like ASAP, but also so exciting to know all the progress we can make if we actually do these things.
Well, and I think that's something that, sorry to cut you off, but Meredith does such a good job at taking us where we're at now, but extracting us to look at that big picture. Like that is a huge part of her job right now to help us out, is just like really visualize that big juicy goal that we're trying to get one day, which is selling Beck's Broth, right? Yeah. So she's the girl to really take us out of our current heads and allow us to dream and manifest and get out of the daily nitty gritty and be like, no, like, yeah, you're doing a great job here, but like, let's think big picture for a second. And are we working towards that? So it's just such a great reality check. Yeah. It's been cool.
Yeah, we need that as founders.
Yeah. What's in your actual cup?
My actual cup is Beck's Broth coffee, obviously.
Surprise.
I actually slept in today, so this is my first coffee of the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like you texted me pretty early, so that's surprising.
Yeah, I know that's right when I opened my eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
I'm grateful.
I really, you're the first person I talked to. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this.
Sorry, Rima.
We love you.
Yeah, so, Dom, what was, do you remember coming home to that first moment where you were interested in like health and wellness? I know from early on you were really into like personal training and stuff. Do you remember what got you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There is a moment. So yeah, I'm a personal trainer. I have always been into like running and like the nerdy sports, like the solo sports. I was never really athletic, but like running. But I remember one day my mom came home and she was like, I found this recipe for these muffins, but they use like pumpkin instead of vegetable oil. And it took us so long to make these chocolate muffins. We like got all these new ingredients for them. And it was so cool because we made these chocolate muffins and they tasted really good, but they were healthy. And from that moment on, I have had this bug for making food taste good that was healthy. Mm-hmm. And I must have been like 7 years old. And my dad said to me, as long as you clean up the kitchen the way your mom wants you to, you can do whatever you want in here. Hey. And that was really that moment for me.
Oh, I love that. That's so special.
Yeah.
Similar moment for me. I remember I must have been in, I want to say maybe around grade 7 or 8. Mm-hmm. And I remember this is when I was really trying to work out and figure out what working out means, right? Like, I mean, what does that mean to somebody who's in grade 7 and 8? That normally means like track and field or gym class in school. And I remember I was doing like circuits in my driveway, like at my mom's house. And I just remember like, okay, like if I make a circuit and I do like 4 exercises and I kind of like do that circuit 3 times, like that's perfect. And you know what? It's so funny because to this day,
I was just gonna say this.
That's like my preferred style of workout. I love doing fun, like different types of circuit training. Like, and like, that's why I loved like F45 so much. Cause it's like, I mean, that's like hardcore circuit training, but it just feels so good because I mean, you're doing it. You're like, that's it for me. Right. But I remember I was standing outside on my driveway and I was looking down at my bowl of Cheerios and bananas thinking this is the healthiest breakfast in the fucking world.
The banana slices take it to the next level.
My Honey Nut Cheerios, my banana. I was out like visualizing my workout. I'm like, I'm literally
fiber
gold standard right now. But that was like my first like tapping into like being curious about health and wellness and like having that connection, like, oh, that made me feel really good.
Yeah.
So like, let me think about how I can like, I guess like optimize like what I'm doing in life so I can always come home to that feeling of just feeling very good about like myself and my choices.
Yeah.
And then it, of course, like trickled from there. We kind of dove into this last time, but during the pandemic, I was working for my marketing job and I was feeling very like, what the fuck is happening in this world? And I feel like I was on the right track. I was really passionate about health and wellness. I was working out all the time. Like that was my passion.
You were working out all the time.
All the time. Like my calloused hands from the gym. Like I loved being I was the girl that was in the gym for like 3 hours because I just loved bopping around in there. And I had all my friends, like from like people who are my age upwards to like 80-year-old people, like just like vibing with them constantly. Like I'm that girl. But I remember during the pandemic, I really took a step back and I was looking at my family and my friends and I was like, I want to make sure that they stay like as healthy as possible during this time, but I don't exactly have like the answers. Like I think I know, like leaning into my intuition, what's right, what's wrong, but I needed that scientific data and that proof and that research. I needed to understand how to look at research and like digest it. So that's when I was like, okay, well, hold up. Like now I'm working from home full time. So like maybe like now is the perfect opportunity for me to enroll in school to become a holistic nutritionist, which is exactly what I did. I ended up doing the FAST program, the 1-year program that got me my designation. And it took a global pandemic for me to realize that that's the path I wanted to kind of go down and choose. So yeah, I was really grateful for that realization. I feel like when you're faced with fear like that, it can go both ways.
Yeah.
You can really like want to hide in your own shell and just really let that fear and anxiety take over, or you can really just put action to it. And I'm just so grateful at the time that like I was strong enough to like put action to it because it could have easily went like the other way.
Yeah.
But yes, that was like really like my secondary like oomph into wellness.
Yeah.
Aside from my bowl of Cheerios.
I have a little bit of a similar story with personal training. Mm-hmm. I got really into like lifting really heavy in first year of university, and I was having so much fun with it, but my body was hurting so much all the time. And you're carrying this crazy ass backpack every day with all these textbooks, so my neck was hurting. And I was like, I'm going to the gym. I'm probably the strongest person in my class. Why am I hurting all the time? And I texted my friend. I saw they had this posting for becoming a personal trainer, and I said, hey, it's $500. It's like 4 days of learning. Do you want to just do it? And she said, sure. Joelle, yeah.
Oh, is it Joelle?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's so cool.
And ever since taking that class, I feel so much more confident in the gym. I'm confident helping my friends who are constantly texting, being like, what can I do to work out? Yeah. And it's just having that knowledge is so important. And that's why I've been talking about doing my yoga teacher training now too. It's not because I can't do yoga, but once you understand why you're doing certain movements, and same with you with the nutrition. I've learned so much from you and from my own like nutritionist too. When you actually get to the root cause, you have so much more confidence and it enhances your life so much.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have like the answers. Like, I don't know, like when I was in school, I was actually, and like, it's such a funny break because like when I was in high school, I was a trash student. I was never going to class. I was like smoking weed between classes in high school and then realizing, no, I can't go to class for the rest of the day. Like, now I got to leave.
Yeah.
So I was ditching class, getting suspended, smoking weed. That was my high school. I was the worst student. And then, so fast forward, thank gosh I didn't go to university or post-secondary right after school. And I found like I was in my marketing job. I got that when I was 19, 20. And then I didn't get to go back to school until I was like 25, I would say. But then when I went back to school to become a holistic nutritionist, I was like top of the class. And I was so proud of myself because I loved reading the textbooks. I loved doing the homework. And I just felt so good about myself being like, wow, like I'm putting in the work. And like if you put in the work, you're going to come out on top. Mm-hmm. You cannot fail if you do the reading and if you answer the questions.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and like just like actually make space for study to show up in your life.
And I think that translates so much into business now, not to make that sound like a LinkedIn post, but we have a lot of external people come in and be like, whoa, you girls know what you're doing. And it's like, well, we're looking shit up. We're asking the questions. We're doing the homework. And that shows.
Well, goodness, when we first started and like when you started Happy Hour, when I started Beck's Broth, you would find us in every course out there. Mm-hmm. Like we were like really tapping into the programs and the courses that we could do to really make sure that like we're putting in the work to get to where we want to be.
Yeah.
So I feel like we both really valued.
But it's nice to hear just that you had a transition from being that student who didn't care to now being a student who cares to now being a really successful business owner. Mm-hmm. It just goes to show that you can change in life, whether it's your work ethic, whether it's your fitness routine, the way you eat. When you get addicted to how something makes you feel, you actually can change.
It just improves your confidence. And when you have that confidence, like it really changes everything. Like you become proud of yourself. And then this minute you feel proud of yourself, you're like, whoa, that's crazy. Like not everybody feels that way. And I went most of my life not feeling that way. So when I finally felt it, it was like almost like love at first sight, but with myself. I was like, fuck, girl, you're cool. You know things. Like you're excited about it and you're passionate about learning. And I think that energy can like just propel you so much further, faster. There's cool.
Nothing better in life than the feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm a workaholic. Yeah. You're a workaholic.
Pat on the back.
Yeah. It feels good, especially from yourself.
Yeah.
You make a promise to yourself, you actually keep it, and you meet your expectations. That is confidence.
Yeah. And it reduces all the anxiety and the fear.
Yeah.
So confidence, anxiety, fear. It's like
bye.
Bye.
So getting into the main topic for today, gut health. It seems to be everywhere.
Yes.
Why? Why is gut health everywhere as a nutritionist?
Yeah, no, I think stemming down, and of course, like on Instagram and TikToks, you're going to see all these like short form videos talking about gut health, what you can do for your gut health, the best water you can drink for your gut. Like everything comes back down to gut health. And I think it's not wrong, right? When you go and talk to a nutritionist or a naturopath and maybe some like mainstream doctors nowadays, if you if you go to them with your symptoms, any good practitioner is going to take a look, like kind of take a step back, and they're not going to look at that one ailment that you're complaining about. They're going to really take a step back and look at how your body's performing as a whole, and they're always going to look at your gut first. And I just feel like your gut, it has the it's what makes your whole body communicate pretty much, like especially like with your brain and your gut-brain axis and all of that type of stuff. And with the food that we're eating nowadays and how processed everything is and just the amount of chemicals that we're ingesting, your body can't digest that.
No.
Like your body has a really hard time digesting foreign substances. Like it doesn't really work. So I think that's why everything's coming back down to your health, because if you're eating junk food, crap food, chemicals, preservatives, it's messing up the integrity of your gut health, whether that means leaky gut, whether that means you're more susceptible to parasites, right? That are really going to like linger and wreak havoc on your immune system and your total body. But just coming home to making sure that your gut is in a really safe and strong position, like that's what you first need to do. And then you can look at your other ailments and be like, okay, well now how do we go forward, right?
Yeah.
Like how do we support the immune system now? Like now that we're really like there on gut health, how can we move forward? Because so gut health is just always going to be the first stepping stone. And I feel like for me, focusing in on gut health, like I just have a killer immune system now. I can eat anything. I was just actually talking to someone last night and they could not believe that I've never had food poisoning. And like, if you know me, I'm risky with the foods I eat. They can sit in my fridge for like a week and a half, which like, I mean, isn't smart, but I've never had like a disaster.
No.
I want to say. But yeah, I just think coming back home to your gut, I mean, like that's just how I like to envision when I think of myself, like my home is like, or my gut is my home before like I would say like my heart or my brain is. It's just like if she's in a good place, then everything else is balanced.
Yeah. It's interesting. I go back and forth with the 80-20 rule and having balance, and you don't want to miss out on life just to take care of your gut. I don't think we need to completely avoid seed oils or avoid carbs or anything like that. But there's this whole other side to gut health where it goes back to what you said about preservatives and chemicals. Yeah, sure, it's easy to say, well, our ancestors grew up on bread. I'm Italian. We ate 90% carbs.
Different.
But the pasta that we're eating here, the wheat is bleached. There's so many ingredients, and it's kind of scary to think about how different the food is even today from 20 years ago. Goldfish, junk food, there's so many more chemicals in it now, and our body physically cannot evolve that quickly to be able to digest it.
You're freaking yourself out.
Yeah.
And like all of those different types of chemicals and hey, like the red dyes, like that literally directly relates back to like different types of anxieties and mood disorders and mood lability, right? So it really affects how you show up and like stay true to yourself. Because now it's almost like you're disowning your body in a way where it's like you're filling it full of junk and now your body's like, I feel fucking crazy and I also feel like shit. Like I have no energy.
Yeah.
Right? But my head is feeling like it's bouncing everywhere. So it's really like you're just not really balanced in a way. And I feel like being balanced and coming back home is like that true state of like where we want to see ourselves. But yeah, with the 80-20 rule, I mean like you're the best to know. Like I love sweets.
Yeah.
I love a sweet treat.
Oh, you love a treat.
I love a quality sweet treat. I don't really love like all that like processed junk food, but I'm not, if I have a craving, I'll listen to it. But I don't have those cravings like every single day, twice a day, all day. It's like I really make sure like I'm following my fundamentals first. But then I also don't let the fear of the food like guide me either. Where I think when I was in school and really practicing, I was trying to be so strict to the point I was driving myself crazy. I couldn't walk into the grocery store, and that's where like my anxiety of grocery stores came from because I was seeing everything and micro reading like all the labels, and that freaked me out. And also like looking at all the plastic waste, it overwhelmed me and made me want to just have a meltdown. So then I ended up getting a fear of walking through grocery stores being like, how is this legal? Like, why is this what we're doing? It didn't make sense. And that's where our love from like farmers markets came from, right? But then again, so then after I've evolved a couple of years and I feel a little bit better with that, still uneasy, but it's probably why I still hate grocery stores. But it's just like you need the balance. If you're trying to eat so clean and you find yourself in like a situation where that clean food isn't necessarily available to you, okay, so then would you rather starve? You're also doing your body damage, like putting it in that state as well, right?
Yeah.
Like just like having like unbalanced blood sugars.
Yeah.
So I just think feeling totally okay with what you're doing and what you know is like the secret sauce of like knowing what you're doing, but trying to be responsible, but like not being hard on yourself if you end up flippy floppy.
Yeah, I think you model that so well.
Yeah.
You're the first to just say, I need a snack, and you'll eat whatever's there.
I need a snack. Or butter.
Oh, yeah, she's a butter girly, and I unfortunately am not.
I know, I feel so bad.
I know, it's okay. I miss cheese.
I know, I miss cheese for you.
I love cheese. I miss Greek yogurt.
Sometimes, that's like what I had for breakfast. Sometimes when I eat dairy, I literally think, fuck, I need to enjoy this extra hard because I know Tom can't.
It's the worst thing in the world.
It's the worst. I'm so sorry. The body can create those enzymes to digest dairy.
I would love that. If someone wants to transplant me,
if anybody knows of any good things for Dom right now, holler at your girl. She can't digest dairy.
No dairy.
Not even ghee, which is something that Bresh has really tried to get us to practice. But
nobody believes me. I can't eat dairy. They're like, it's lactose free. I'm like, it's dairy.
Yeah. Your test results came back as zero enzymes.
Zero.
Like, not one exists in your body to be able to digest this. All right, so rewind to when you were in school and you got your personal training certificate and you were working out and everything like that. Were you focusing on the food aspect when you're also working out, or when did that necessarily shift for you?
I was focusing on the food aspect for sure.
Okay.
I've always eaten like a lot of fruits and vegetables, but I fell for a lot of the fad health trends. So I'll give some examples. Protein bars. I ate a lot of I still eat like RX bars and the cleaner ones now, but ones with a lot of protein powder. Yeah. I wasn't eating breakfast because I just thought that it was better for you to intermittent fast. And I was working out first thing in the morning, so supercharging my cortisol with coffee and then a workout and then not eating after I worked out either.
Does somebody sense a burnout?
I did.
Unsustainable.
And, what else did I do? I didn't eat red meat because I just thought I didn't like it. And, yeah, I just relied a lot on protein powders. So those things, of course, I was eating salads. I was eating, like, chicken and vegetables and potatoes and eating really well. But I wasn't doing it more from a holistic way. It was more of, like, a gym bro diet.
Right.
And it's so cliche, but it was just the media that I was consuming. That was my algorithm. That's what I thought was healthy, and that's what I was doing.
And a lot of the times those high protein foods are just super processed.
Yeah.
Which, like, hey, like, not to hate bone broth, like, it's a great substitute for any different types of protein powders because it is that whole food, right? So you're getting the vitamins, minerals, collagen, but all these protein powders, they're not always the cleanest things on the shelves, and they're filled with like gums and fillers and artificial flavors, and it really stacks up on what they put in those types of products. All right, so talk about your trip on when your true gut health journey started for you.
So I went to Croatia and Italy and Montenegro for a gorgeous grad trip with my best friends and
Which is like the dream. Like, talk about like just like pure Mamma Mia vibes.
Oh,
like
it was
Girl or like Sisters Traveler Pants, whatever that movie is.
Literally
living
amazing.
the dream.
Living the dream. I did a week with Brayden, just the two of us in Italy, and this was the beginning of when we were dating, so it was really fun and romantic. And then we went to Croatia, and a bunch of my friends' families came with us. So we were just on this huge trip, having the best time, renting boats every day, drinking on the boats, hanging out with family. And then the last night of our trip, we went back to Italy to grab dinner with some of my family before we flew home, and I started having these stomach pains. Oh, no. And I was like, maybe there was dairy in the pasta. Who knows?
Could you already not eat dairy at that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't like cold turkey, but I knew that I had a sensitivity to it. So I was like, maybe there's dairy in the pasta. I just came home, started having traveler's diarrhea, went to the doctor. They were like, it's just traveler's diarrhea. I still had happy hour at the time, and it was just me running the business, and Tanya was helping me out, but I couldn't work because I would go to work and then I'd be running to the bathroom. So I spent like 2 or 3 weeks eating just like plain bagels and stuff, and it just never got better. And I went to the doctor again. They had no idea what was happening. Then I couldn't drive because I couldn't turn my neck. I thought I was just maybe overtired, but I couldn't turn my neck, and I didn't know why. Like, I had no range of motion. And I was eating a lot because I was so hungry, but mostly like bread, bagels, rice, bananas. And I was very plain because my stomach hurt, and I was losing a lot of weight, but eating a lot. So it was interesting. And then finally I went to the doctor crying, and I was like, dude, I feel so sick. Just give me whatever you need to give me. And I took an antibiotic. I slept for 4 days, and then after those 4 days I felt better. And I got myself a stool sample at the time. My best friend was also becoming a pharmacist, and she was like, you sound like you have a parasite. And I was like, oh, I do. And
like, that makes sense.
That makes so much sense. And sure enough, a few weeks later, it came back with the parasite. It came back positive. You brought me probiotics that day. You were like, girl, you got to do something.
Let's do something quick. Like,
yeah.
let's just act on this.
Yeah. And I got better. And then about a year after that, everything started hurting my stomach. And it's so embarrassing, but like, I couldn't eat onions, garlic, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, dairy. Certain breads were hurting me. Like, everything that was healthy, I just couldn't digest anymore. And that's when I started researching that there's a lot of like post-parasitic gut damage that they researched for so long, and they actually dropped the research papers because they never heal. And that's like scary to read when you can't eat anything.
You don't think of that. Like, you don't think walking around, you're going on a vacation, gonna have a great time, boom, parasite, boom, my next 5 years completely compromised.
Yeah.
Because you've really shifted as a person since you've started learning all of this. Like, I've never met somebody who's just more dedicated to making sure that like your full body is taken care of. Like, you always do everything so your health is in like top tier shape, if that makes sense, right? Like, you're so, like, just because you know the consequences, you know you're going to feel like shit, and it's debilitating.
Scary, but it goes to show that I had the parasite and I couldn't get rid of it. And the doctor said usually people can just get rid of it on their own. My other friend, she just got rid of it. And I didn't tell any of them because I was embarrassed and I felt bad because we were staying at like their family house, and I didn't want them to feel like they got me sick. But a few weeks later, I told one friend, the one friend told the other, and then they were like, oh, we're all sick here.
Wow.
But some didn't get sick, and the ones who didn't get nearly as sick as I did. So that was kind of a wake-up call to now, like, I'm overcompensating for my health and really trying to just get back to that baseline. But that's where bone broth came in, and that's how I started eating red meat again. I realized why am I afraid of eating whole foods? Why am I
red meat is just so, it's like my number one like form of medicine.
Yeah.
I find I always, if ever I'm like having a bad mood or if I'm just not feeling good, red meat, like a good cooked steak.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious.
Yeah. But if anyone's listening and you're going through what I went through or not able to digest, there is an other side to it. Our guts are able to heal. It just takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not there yet, but I've probably like 80% better, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But it does change you. I don't drink
It changes
anymore.
you,
And I would
yeah.
like to drink, but I can't drink. So yeah, I would say working with a nutritionist has been the number one thing that's helped me, getting the testing done. And then I did like this huge kill off of all the bad bacteria that had been growing inside of me. And now I just love like fermenting my own foods and doing
Well, it's
all,
also
like,
just
big
opened
geeky
up completely
things.
other different passions for you.
Yeah.
Like sourdough.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like I love, like you always love to bake and play around with recipes, but I think like the fermentation process, you really tapped into.
Fermenting is underutilized in this world.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Started making pickles now too, which is cool.
Delicious.
Yeah.
I'll take a jar when they're
Shout
ready.
out bubbies. Yeah. They take 3 weeks.
Well,
so you
I'll
gotta
be
wait.
knocking on your door in 3 weeks.
No. Yeah, come anytime.
Do you have one piece of advice that you would like to give our listeners, like if they are struggling with any form of gut health, whatever that might be?
Work with a nutritionist. It helped get me from point A to point B. I was trying to DIY and you were helping me. We were doing everything we could. We were taking the probiotics, eating healthy, but there's people out there who have already been through this and actually know how to fix you. And I didn't know how to fix my intolerance to garlic by myself. And I, if I had to do it today, I wouldn't have known that I had to take these garlic pills to fix my garlic intolerance.
Right. Like who would have thought?
Yeah. Or who would have known that I had this overgrowth of a bad bacteria and like 0 lactobacillus acidophilus, which is like one of the most basic probiotics in our health. So I was scared to work with Krista because when this happened to me, I was just coming out of school, barely had a salary, and it's like expensive.
It costs money.
Yeah. And you recommended her because she was one of the smartest people in your class.
She was like A+ in the class. I
Yeah,
love
I
listening
could
to
tell.
the way that she works because she asks the best questions.
Oh, really?
And you can always tell like how, not how smart somebody is, but how like passionate they are about and like their wheelhouse of understanding if they ask good questions in every class. I'm like, girl, how does your brain work like that? So yeah.
She also had a similar story to me with getting really, really sick. And that, seeing her now eating all the foods that I wanted to start eating was really helpful. But something I didn't realize is when you work with a practitioner, especially with someone like her, and I told her my goals were I can't spend a lot of money right now. I can't spend the $400 or $500 that my naturopath wants me to be spending on supplements every month. She's going to take all your supplements away and only give you what you need and teach you how to cook your own food and do things in your own way. So you're actually saving money long term. So everyone that I've recommended to work with her, my boyfriend, a bunch of like different family members and friends, they've all had a really positive experience. And if anyone needs an introduction to Krista, I'm more than happy to make that intro. It's worth the money. You're worth investing in yourself, and you're just going to feel so much better.
Yeah, I think it even goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning with like that confidence level. Like it's really hard to perform at your best when you're not feeling confident. And when you're dealing with gut issues, your confidence goes out the fucking drain.
Oh.
Whether it's because you're feeling like crap or you literally can't stop farting around people that you love. So
Yeah.
your confidence out the fucking window.
Oh, it's the worst.
So like just making that step to working with a professional can be like one of the best things that you can do, and it can really help you heal faster, but then also help educate you on what's actually happening. I think that's the best thing, just understanding what you're really going through.
Yeah, totally.
All right,
Hot
folks?
girls got gut issues.
Yeah, seriously. Hot girls have gut issues. But also, hot girls drink bone broth.
Yes, hot girls drink bone.
Signing off, do we want to bid them farewell in any certain way?
Bye. No.
Catch us later. This was so much fun.
That's a wrap, folks.
Bye.
Bye.